What's the difference between pizza and a mathematician?
Difference between pizza and a mathematician? What?
A pizza can feed a family of 4.
Oh, hey, what's happening, everybody? It's time for a tech update. This is tech update number 77. Welcome to it.
Holy crap, is that actually what it is?
I have no idea. I just made it up. So, you know, I have this, you're having to sit close to me today, and I just want to get something out there. I ran out of deodorant last night, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm having one of those days, like a deodorant-free day. You know, our French viewers probably understand how that feels. But
you get a little sweaty under the pits?
Yeah, I keep catching whiffs of myself. You know, like as I'm walking around, like I'll go to do something, I'm like, whoa! So if you smell something a little funky, that would be because I don't have any deodorant on today.
Pretty used to it.
And I don't have any underwear on. Because I ran out of clean stuff the other day. So
let's go commando like 50% of the week.
Just saying, if you know, that would be the reason.
I wish I could move away from you,
feeling
but
a little less. Yeah, what happened to your laptop?
Producer Dan velcroed my laptop to the table.
It's not like you're not like pretending either. Like this thing won't come.
Yeah, it's on there. I'm afraid if I lift it, I'll kill the battery.
So yeah, it's tech update time. Did you know I was talking to our good friend and boss Randy, and you know we're like 2 months away from CES.
Yes,
Can you believe that we're like 2 months away from CES?
It feels like we were just there yesterday.
It does.
Yeah,
it truly does.
Stumbling through Vegas.
And so you have that to look forward to in the near future. But let's go ahead and talk about some technology news, shall we? Because that's what we're all here for anyway.
Let's.
Got a really cool iPhone app came out the other day. And this is pretty awesome. There's a service out there called ZipCar. They started on college campuses. They've sort of grown into larger cities that have good transportation systems. So like if you're a resident of, say, it's like San Francisco or whatever, right, where you can get anywhere without a car, no problem. You don't need a car, all right? But every now and then, obviously, a car would be nice to have. They've got a system that allows you to just kind of rent a car on an hourly basis whenever you need it, okay?
Right.
Cool system. They've enhanced it now with an iPhone application, allowing you to, from wherever you are, say you need a car, right? They're very reasonable. It's like $8 an hour or something. You go, I need a car. So you pull up the application, and it tells you where the nearest Zipcar would be to you. So you go ahead and you choose that car, and you can reserve it for whatever time you want to reserve it for. And then when you go to the lot that it's at, it shows you a map, shows you exactly where the car is. You hit this horn button, and the horn on the car that you're renting honks, so you know how to get, so you know exactly which car it is. And when you walk up to it, you push the unlock button, which unlocks the car for you from your phone.
Brilliant.
You get in, drive off, do your thing, bring it back, and return it.
And it starts with the iPhone too?
I don't think they can actually start the car.
So it's like a push button start. You just got to get into the car.
I can't remember how it works. I think they can just leave the keys in the cars or something.
I have one right by my house. I'm curious. I want to try it out.
I have no idea. They have Zipcars in South Florida?
In UM.
University of Miami.
Yeah, right across the street from my house. They definitely got some.
And then there's some Apple news. Apple speculation continues about this tablet.
More detailed information's coming out.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's real? But I guess this thing has evolved from full-on tablet computer running Leopard to more of a giant iPod media device, and now they're saying that this is going to be more of a Kindle competitor maybe than anything else.
Keep reading that, yeah.
That this might be more for magazines and books and newspapers, along with media like music and videos and stuff like that. But I guess they're thinking that one of the major purposes of this thing is going to be as an e-reader. So they're saying that it could be announced as early as January. All signs point to a January announcement sometime after CES with like a May-June launch of the said device.
I read that it may be larger than they said it was going to be.
10 inches, I think, is the expected.
That's what the Asian people were saying, because they're the ones who were providing the screens, but some supposedly good Apple insiders saying there may be a larger version as well.
No, the old one was 7.6 inches.
Oh, is that what it was?
And now
it's
they're
10?
saying that it could be 10 inches. Maybe it'll be both. Maybe
It might
it'll be
both.
none.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
It'll never come
the
out.
speculation continues on the Apple tablet, and I guess we'll probably be hearing plenty about that over the next 7 months or so.
All right, well, back to PCs.
Okay.
Actually, you know that's going to run on iPhone software, supposedly. iPhone OS. Should be interesting. Okay. Anyway, I know you know about this stuff.
Yeah, I do.
The new 5870s came out.
I've been all about this.
And the 5850s.
This is higher number than the last one, man.
And the X2s. Which multiply everything by 2.
This is 1,000 higher than the last one, than the 4870.
I keep wanting to move my laptop and I can't. I freaking hate you, bro.
You can't
Jesus.
move it.
So this is like the biggest graphics card I've ever seen. Have you seen how big this thing is?
No.
It's 11 inches. It's like this big.
What computer does that fit in?
Like none. Like a bunch of cases
Like,
it just doesn't
right?
fit
Like,
in.
that doesn't fit in.
And there's also the X2, which is going to be even bigger. So I just kind of wanted to show everybody a couple pictures.
Can we take it out of the box? Are we allowed to look inside?
No, they haven't photographed these yet. So.
Oh, we're
but
not allowed to touch these yet?
Take a look at my my screen here. This is the X2 version, which is going to be even larger. This is going to take like some serious space to run. Now, you know these run the iInfinity system, or the iFinity. So basically, each card can run up to 3 monitors, which in turn gives you up to 6 displays if you're on Crossfire, so you can run like 2,400 lines of resolution across a bunch of displays.
Wow.
Now, the other big news that's happening in the graphics card segment right now is this. This is the NVIDIA announced their Fermi GPU architecture. So that, I don't know, I think that's the...
Is that what's going to compete with these?
Exactly, exactly. They're looking at... NVIDIA's smart. They're showing the architecture. Rather than showing the card off to compete with this right away, they're saying, oh, we just got this new architecture for our new card. And everyone's like, oh, really? You know, how is it going to work compared to this? So they kind of delayed the sales of this because people might be waiting for the NVIDIA product.
How long until we can buy a Fermi?
No idea. Not said. But 3 billion transistors, 40 nm process, 512 shaders, 384-bit GDDR5 memory interface, up to 2.5 gigabytes or 1.5 gigabytes of GDDR5, which is absolutely ridiculous. And if you want to see a picture of the actual die,
Making me all hot and
they
bothered.
already have it. Look at the picture of the actual die. This is the actual architecture.
Whoa!
There is actually what it looks like.
Wow!
So this is what's going to go inside of the GT300 chips that everybody's been waiting for, the GTX 3, whatever they're going to call it. This is the next generation. This is like what Nehalem did to Core 2 Quad. It's kind of the same thing. It's a new architecture altogether.
I used to have that in a blacklight version on my wall in my dorm at college.
Of some old Pentium 4 chip?
That exact thing.
Yeah.
That's how hardcore I am. This is awesome. Anytime something from Aliens comes to life, this is
you need to
badass.
kill it.
This is the power loader, okay? Apparently it gives it gives Asian men incredible strength, is what I can tell from this. This is actually called the power loader. That's what the Aliens machine was called, right? Wasn't it called the power loader?
You know, I don't remember.
That's what they called it.
Holy shit.
Right? Anybody?
No.
Alien? The machine? They called it... I'm pretty sure they called it the power loader. Regardless. But this is a device that actually gives a normal human being superhuman strength, which I'm okay with this because obviously it's operated by a human being and it doesn't have a computer brain in it, so I'm totally comfortable with it. Was it called the power loader?
It was called the power loader.
And it does look exactly the same, right?
I do confirm that.
Look, you can pull it up. He's got it on his screen. It's like the same damn thing.
Yeah, sure looks
They've
like it.
invented. They've brought it from Hollywood to us. So it's on the market, and if you have like $11 billion, you could probably pick one up for yourself.
Right now, I think it still weighs like 8,000 pounds or something, or like 2,000 pounds, 4,000. They're trying to make it portable, but I mean, you gotta stand there. What are you gonna do? How do you get the big, heavy stuff they need to load to you to begin with if you're stuck in the same spot?
You need a bigger power loader.
That's what you need.
Yeah,
A bunch of power loaders.
In various sizes to move the others around.
That's fantastic.
And then I got 2 eco things. One of them I really like. It's the Helix wind turbine cell phone tower. Did you see this? All right. Basically, these are going to be self-powered cell phone towers.
Brilliant.
So maybe AT&T can buy a few of these and hook it up so that they're not dropping. Apparently 30% of calls in New York is what they're saying.
In New York? I know it's horrible.
They're saying that in New York, the AT&T network is dropping 30% of iPhone calls, and that they're considering that completely acceptable and baseline normal, 30%.
You're kidding.
If you're 30% or below, you should be happy with the service that you're getting, is what they're telling their customers.
That's unacceptable.
So this right here, this is the Helix wind turbine, and they will be installing these actually on cell phone towers, allowing the cell phone tower to power itself. So if you have, let's say you're trying to cover an area that is off the grid, like in the mountains, in the middle of the country,
you don't need to run lines.
In developing nations, right? You don't need to run power lines to them. And if you can get a wireless, link to your backhaul, you don't have to have any cables running to them at all.
This is a repeater.
And that's also a huge boon for for if in natural disasters, because if you lose electricity,
Your cell phone stays
you're
alive.
still going to be able to power these things. So these are actually coming to market now, and they're going to begin testing them here and in Africa. And so we're gonna this is real stuff. And then also. I don't know if you saw this or not, but the United States military has commissioned a power generating backpack that can generate 40 watts of continuous power as you walk around. And 40 watts is nothing to sneeze at.
Not at all.
Like that's enough electricity to power pretty much any number of gadgets that you would have on you, your cell phone, your phone, like whatever. And it's all generated by the pack itself. And you can see on the video in the background there how it works. It's actually on rails, and as you move up and down, it sort of slides up and down on these rails, generating electricity inside the pack
And
itself.
I read that it actually takes a good amount of load off of the soldier's back. It helps their
does.
knees, it helps their back, it helps everything.
Apparently, because basically the pack ends up staying sort of level the entire time, and your body's moving sort of in front of it. So it doesn't actually, it's actually much more comfortable on the people wearing them apparently, and gives them a bunch of electricity.
Did you read the story talking about the repeating cell phone tires? That kid in Africa that built a windmill out of like bicycle tires and like cans and shit.
Yeah.
That kid is incredible. That was a great story. Check this out. We need this for CES. We need to get producer Dan carrying around this ridiculous backpack. But this is the Livestream Live Pack HD. And
yes.
It's basically a computer with in a backpack with a bunch of batteries, and it has 6 3G modems. They're obviously not using AT&T's network, or it would never happen.
Well, part of it is.
Part of it? Is it AT&T network?
It actually uses all 3. So you've got.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what this system has is 2 wireless cards for each provider. Okay.
Right.
So you've got 2 on AT&T, 2 on Verizon, 2 on Sprint. And so what they've designed is a system that allows you to take advantage of all the bandwidth available. So if you're in a spot that has where all 3 providers have a signal, it'll duplex all 3 of those providers and then combine those.
Wow.
It automatically balances the load across all 6 cards and across all 3 providers
on the fly,
giving you a massive upload capacity.
Speed.
And it gives you the ability to fall back in case you're in a situation where the Sprint network sucks. It just basically pushes that off, uses just AT&T and Verizon. If AT&T is sucking, using just Verizon and Sprint, whatever, it's always able to get pretty much in almost any situation, you're going to be able to get a signal. Even if you're not in a 3G area, even if you're in an area where it's just edge, it can take 4 edge connections, put them together
and get
to
you
give
something.
you to give you a fat enough pipe to stream
because you need a
video.
5 megabit per second up to get a good HD stream out there. Do you think it would work at CES, where every single person on the planet is on their cell phone?
That's what I was thinking about, because I don't know if anything works at CES. I don't think when you take that many people and put them in one place, I don't think anything works.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We should probably try to get a hold of one and use it.
It's $2,500 to rent it for a month, including the web server, and they'll also automatically record everything to the server.
When you compare that cost to what news organizations pay for satellite time, $2,500 is like 15 minutes of satellite time.
Absolutely.
So that's a no-brainer for like a CNN or MSNBC or Fox News or whatever. That's a no-brainer. Take 5 of them right now, and I guarantee you they're already moving them.
You can rent an entire one for like $15,000. You get it for the entire year.
Yeah. Look at this. I got a picture.
I love that picture.
This is great. This is a picture of the Boeing Delta IV heavy lift rocket taking off in the middle of the night. Some crazy photographer went ahead and mounted a camera down at the base of the launch pad. And this is actually the shot that he got from that vantage point. Of course, apparently the blast from the rockets were enough to just completely mangle the camera, destroyed the lens, knocked everything back like 30 feet. Like it was really, really messed everything up. But he was able to get this
epic shot,
this amazing picture, and I don't think we've ever seen this point of view in a still photo.
It looks stupid at 800 lines of resolution and on the screen now, but look at it in real life and you'll appreciate the quality of the photo. Mind you, they don't let people within 1.5 miles of that launch pad.
No,
because it's so dangerous. So
yeah, even within 1 mile, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
like, it'll still fry your face off.
Yeah, that's sweet. That picture is incredible.
And then I got one more here. The folks at Sony
I saw that too.
Have developed a really cool camera. And what's special about this one is it's a 3D camera. Now, one of the things that you think of when you see 3D cameras, you always see two lenses on these things. And they've actually devised a system that splits everything in 2 on the other side of the lens.
Right.
So it's able to shoot in 3D using only one lens at a frame rate of 240 frames per second, which is pretty hot. And so this, of course, all moving towards the future of 3D football.
And it's
all I care
240 hertz. Did you say that?
240 frames per
Frames per second, right? So when you do it on a native 240 hertz screen, it looks perfect.
like
Can't
so
mess anything
smooth
up.
it'll make you vomit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I almost don't want to say this story just because it has nothing to do with tech, but it's kind of big, and it's big for the scientists out there right now, I guess.
Well, let's see it.
This is Artie. They just found this puppy out in, I don't even know where they found it, in a forest somewhere, but it's
Artie's got some nice boobs.
Ardipithecus ramidus. Definitely got some titties. And this is apparently like our human baby mama. This is like the earliest found missing link between chimpanzees and humans. Like if we came from chimps or from apes in general, this is our earliest ancestor, which before they believed was Lucy, who they had found, prior to that. But this is 4.4 million years old, so it's actually considerably older than what we actually thought.
It looks like Bigfoot.
It does a little bit. It's got big hands. Definitely walks on 2 feet.
Looks a lot like Bigfoot, but with a bigger rack.
Yeah. So new Artie, called Artie.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else do we got here? Did we talk about the Phoenix Quick Boot last week? That laptop that boots Windows 7 in 11 seconds.
God, I would have remembered that if we had.
You know you actually like this kind of stuff. Don't talk shit. Check this out. This is the Phoenix Quick Post. It actually, instead of initializing each component in the laptop individually, which is so stupid, they've been doing that way for years, and no one ever thought, why don't we do it all at the same time? Turns on everything at the exact same time.
Okay.
Pushes the button. It posts in 1 second.
Okay.
Loads Windows 7 off of an SSD in 11 seconds from pushing the button to, look, it already posted, and it's already loading the desktop. So in 11 seconds, you're at a full Windows 7.
I don't want to talk smack, but this will do like 15 seconds straight out. I can turn it off, turn it on, 15 seconds.
But you're running OS 10.
Yeah.
Right, so the 11 seconds that it takes to turn off Windows 7, it's 1 second for the post and then 10 for starting up. Yours probably takes like 5 seconds, so it would go like 6 seconds if it had that technology.
Oh, okay.
It would go even faster.
So it would go even, oh, well, that would be sweet.
Put it this way,
that.
if you had an SSD and you loaded like a Linux or a QuickGate, like an ExpressGate type of operating system, since it only has a 1 second post, you could technically go from power on
to in like 5 seconds.
No, in 1 second. You can already do it. I can do it in 5 seconds on this netbook using the ExpressGate button. It would do in less than a second. It would do 1 second post and then 1 second to boot up the OS, or maybe even less than a second.
All right, I'll give it to you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
And then I got one last story here, and that is about how awesome the space shuttle is. You want to know how old the technology in the shuttle is? Like, this is a perfect
I've heard
example.
about like it running on 8 bits of like RAM and
yeah,
crazy.
this is a perfect example. They cannot launch the space shuttle in November, like in mid-November on, because the space shuttle can't be in space for the yearly changeover. All right.
Okay.
The space shuttle's computers can't handle the change from 2009 to 2010.
They just flip out.
Like it won't. The computers won't know what to do. And the whole thing apparently will, like, all the systems will be basically non-functional if it's involved in the rollover. What I was wondering was, like, if that's the problem, why don't they just like reset the clock on the shuttle to like 10 days prior and go, hey, it's not November 12th, Shuttle Atlantis, it's November 1st.
That's a good point. Why don't they do that?
Why is it such an issue?
The computer's not realizing what date it is by
I can't
the
tell you
seasons or the stars.
I can't tell you how much software, how many trial softwares I'm able to use just by setting my clock back to 1989.
Could it be because it's looking at stars and then in turn the date is important? But no, that it's not for that.
It's not Galileo. It's a computer.
It's a little computer that launches nothing. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
But that's how old this thing, like literally the technology in this thing is so old and so decrepit that it has like its own little mini Y2K crisis every year, and it cannot be in the air when that happens. That's how old the multi-billion-dollar space shuttle.
But I also heard that they can't change the parts because it would cost more money to change it than it would to just leave it the way it is, where it's doing its job fine. All it has to do is do a few calculations that are very simple. And
yeah, probably.
I'm done, but I have a really funny video to show everybody. You have anything else? No? All right, well, thank you for watching Tech Update episode 77. Yeah? Here's a picture, there's a video of a parrot humping a man's head. This is the rarest parrot in the world. It's flightless.
No.
What?
The Australian night parrot is the most rarest parrot in the world. In fact, an expedition to find it just failed. That's how rare it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
The Australian night parrot.
Are you serious? I'm gonna go look this up right now.
Would I make that up?
Ah, I believe you.
Would I make up the night parrot is the rarest parrot in the world?
There's 19 of these in the world.
Well, the night parrot only has 17.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough. The second rarest parrot in the world humping a guy's head.
It's not humping anything.
Oh, give it a split second. It's funny that it's not afraid of the guy videotaping him,
Kind of looks like a dog.
and it's gonna attack his head right now.
So he's just sitting there. They're just like, oh, look how incredible this parrot is, rarest parrot in the world, and the parrot just starts humping him.
Yeah, just he's supposedly in some sort of like mating frenzy where he's just locked up with like hormones. He's like freaking out, and he just can't help it. I mean, that doesn't look.
I know that feeling.
I know that feeling too, but he's a parrot.
There he goes.
Yeah, he's
Getting a bit frisky.
He sure is.
There he goes.
But apparently he has strong claws, so he doesn't actually let go until he's done. So he's gonna.
So he's on there until he's
finished. All right.
Why does he just why is he letting the bird do that? Because the video's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why.
Come on, dude. That's
Yeah.
epic footage.
Yeah, I think I'd let the bird keep doing it too.
Of course.
There's only 20 of these things in the world?
19.
And they can't fly?
19. They can't fly.
How do they know there's only 19?
I think that's like what they've counted.
Oh, okay.
But it's a small forest where they live, and it's not very big, so they're like, these are them. They know them by name because they have never found any other ones.
All right.
They know, like, that's Julie, Jim, John, and
Let's get out of here.
let's do it.
Fascinating parrot humping. See everybody next week. Later. It's a dramatic cut to black there for the end. Wow.
So I guess that my notebook is going to stay here.